out, and it's like, what do you want to see in the streets? How's it supposed to look? And all that kind of stuff. We've done that. I'm pretty sure them people don't work for free. And it doesn't take a whole committee or commission of people. Let's take a walk down the street over here, and I can show you telephone poles that are sticking out. I can show you potholes that have been there for decades and stuff. So I don't need a whole committee and a commission. We can take all the information that we've had before.
Yeah, I totally agree.
And what we need to do is find a construction crew and a team to go out there and do the work. That's what's needed.
Yeah.
That's why I said all of this planning stuff. But look, how are we still planning for something that, is pretty obvious?
Yeah, but this
other
is
than
for
spend money.
a potential ballot initiative that Councilmember Guerra is the head of that subcommittee.
And the ballot is to do what?
We don't know yet. That's the thing. That's why it's to basically fund transportation, but that could be very broad. Like, what is it for?
That could be transportation any place.
Exactly. So I just want to share that with you because I think it's a important time to be engaged in that conversation, because they're going to write the initiative. I think they're all working on it. They're going to talk to different partners, community-based organization. And I'm sharing the reason why they're going to talk about it because the policymakers and lawyers are going to write up the initiative, right? And we want to make sure that they write up in a way where if a ballot measure does pass, we want to make sure that those dollars actually go to
prioritize the worst places and the folks that are in the most need and
so
stuff.
I share that with you because there are some folks, and STA is not just City of Sacramento, it's Elk Grove, it's various.
Elk Groves have nice roads.
Totally.
Yeah.
I'm sharing this with you because STA is made up not just the City of Sacramento, it's also made up of other members from other cities.
County and yeah.
Exactly. And so what that ends up meaning is that STA has to vote on this initiative, which means that everyone's going to want to put their own kind of projects.
Meadowview should be at the top of that list.
Yes, absolutely. So I share that with you because that is where the conversation and the negotiation and the fight will happen in public, right? Because Elk Grove may say, well, we want more freeways, or I'm just like basically more sprawl, right? And we can say, no, actually in the City of Sacramento, we just want to fix our potholes and we want more transit oriented, right? We want to fix our street. So there could be competing interests. And so I'm sharing this with you because that's where community will play a role, like at the STA meeting at the county. So like if you came and spoke and say, hey, I know you're in the middle of having a conversation about a ballot initiative, like whatever you guys come up with, I really hope that you make a priority underserved communities that streets are, like you said.
That should be in the language. And I mean, that should be, that to me, a lot of this stuff seems so obvious that the fact that you have to have a whole committee of people to try to decide what is or what's not right and stuff. Something is very twisted about that because of the very basics of it. Think of it as a house and stuff.
Totally.
The worst part of whatever it needs fixing, that's what we need to prioritize and fix that.
Yeah, so you and I are on the same page. The issue is, if I'm not the only one voting. There's several.
Right, and I know it's about the way, but again, and I'm looking at the whole process of how this whole thing works, and it doesn't work for people. It works for people who have meetings. It works for people who do consulting. It helps for contractors who get paid a whole bunch of money and stuff that maybe sometimes do the work, maybe sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work for actually being efficient, getting stuff done.
Yeah.
But I know you didn't create the system.
Yeah.
And you're not gonna, but again,
but I'm gonna fight to make sure that, whatever it is, that it's about fixing our roads and our streets, especially in underserved community. I'm only sharing this with you because this is where I feel like community organizing does matter. Like, your voice does matter. Like, when we have these STA meetings, like, no one shows up at these meetings, and I think it's important to organize people as the conversation is happening about the initiative. I just want to share that with you because I know you care deeply about walkability and making sure that, roads and trails are safe for our families and loved ones. I'm only sharing that with you because I do think that voice is really important when these conversations are happening publicly at the county. And so I just wanted to share that with you.
All right.
Yeah.
And we're kind of getting toward the end of our time there. Yeah. But 102 acres, 3 years later, $12 million spent right down the street over there. We've got all these vacant lots that have been here for a whole bunch of time, and now we've got that big giant lot that's been over there doing nothing but for the last, has it been the whole 3 years? Time does fly.
The time does fly.
And so, and do we still have a committee that meets so often to talk about all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, we still have a committee, but we haven't met yet.
Okay.
The big part of that is because I think the mayor and I are going head to head right now, and I'll share with you. I think we talked about this last time we met. was the last time that we talked about the 102 acres publicly was back in March. I don't know if you were at that meeting, but I think you have the link to this. That day, when the item came to council, it was supposed to be an action item where we actually vote on 8 guiding principles that were informed by community. Basically, like making sure that we have recreation, all of these key 8 guiding principles. Very low having like low fruit. It's not anything that's controversial. And I really wanted us to vote on that. And it would also, that vote would have been voting on the guiding principles and then going on the next steps to develop a financial plan about how we're going to develop the 102 acres. The mayor said no, because he was elected. The mayor said, no, we're not going to do this as an action item because I'm a new mayor and I want to kind of know what's going on. And so he said, we're not going to make it an action item. We're just going to make it a workshop. A step.
Workshop,
Yes.
action, so whatever, and
Yeah.
all of that.
Yes. So
It's 3 years later, and here we still are.
Yes.
And what we're talking about is, well, what we're gonna do, our plan is we're gonna keep meeting and keep talking about it until we do something, but we don't really have a target of when we wanna actually do something, but we are gonna keep meeting and talking about it, and
no, it's not just
10
about,
years from now,
no, it's
we'll
not
be.
just about talking about it because I want this piece of property to be developed for the community. I think that's really key and important. And I am fighting incredibly hard to make sure that happens. Under this new mayor, under this new leadership, he did say that he's going to include me in his Brown Act so that we could work on this together. I think the mayor may have other intentions for the property that I am not in alignment with.
Oh yeah, a lot of folks, people say that you should put all of the homeless people over in that area.
Yeah.
That's been the talk.
Yes.
Even when it was purchased, the folks living over in East Sac,
Yes.
that's what they said. You got all that property down there.
Yes.
And also when it was purchased, what was it supposed to be? Part of it was supposed to be used for some homeless services.
Yes, yes.
And for some affordable housing. Those
Yes,
are
affordable
priorities.
housing.
And now, later on, then it was a sports complex, speculation with the public funds. We're gonna build this thing and hope to attract the stuff. It was gonna cost us $50 million to do anything with it, and we're gonna hope to get a return on it. That is reckless speculation and stuff
Yeah,
with
we
our
haven't-
tax dollars.
We haven't voted on anything to make sure that, so there's been conversations and there's been feedback from the community, but we have not yet taken a formal vote on exactly what the development will be yet.
So 102 acres is still just gonna be over there until we have a whole bunch more meetings
So I totally
for the
hear-
next few years.
No, absolutely not, because we are working hard every day to make
Alright.
sure that we have a step forward. What I'm sharing with you is that we are also up against the mayor now too, because
Yeah.
he may have, it's not just I actually think that putting everyone on there, at first he was for, but I don't think he's for that now. I think where he's leading, I don't know yet, I can't speak for him because I'm not the mayor, is that he may want to just sell off the whole entire property. But can I share something with you on my position?
We need housing
Yes,
really bad.
yes,
Affordable housing.
Yes.
Not affordable housing if you make $500,000 a year, but
Yeah.
affordable housing for the people that live around here who maybe have been renting for the last forever and stuff, doing it stably, but they could afford to actually buy a property and stuff. That's
Yes.
that's affordable,
yes,
Yes.
yes.
So we don't have any of that here or any of that going on there, but anyway, we got $12 million lot over there. Along with that big one over there and the one down there and the one down the street and the one going down 24th Street, and not even mentioning all of that church property that's like, what do y'all even do with this? What do y'all even do with this? It's been like this, and y'all don't play out here and stuff. I never see people out.